And we're on. I guess so. Hello mirror. There actually is a mirror right next to me, which I barely ever look at, which is kinda strange, but I guess if I was not allowed to look at it, I guess I'd probably have the need to look at it all the time, but like this, no. So today I'll be talking to myself about random things. I was thinking about it a bit. From time to time I just feel the need to stream, and I don't really think things through, and it's easier for me this way. And also sometimes you need to let your mind run wild, run free, and you know, you will get some thoughts outside of the box. This is a stream after all. Maybe when I accumulate a substantial amount of concisive things, I might, make a concise video, though last time I failed miserably. Okay, maybe let's start with that. Yeah, and I think I got the sound about right, but when it comes to video, it's always awful. I don't know what to do there. This will probably not work. Yep. So, first things first. Why am I here? Boom, 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 boom. Why am I here? Because I don't want to go back to Garrison ever again. I am sick of that place. If they make decisions based on data, they get it totally wrong. But I came here to check the event, and this was, available too, so that's why I came here. But I might as well stay here, though. I was thinking about again talking about Garrison. I even noticed in my bag that I have some armor for followers I didn't even use, and okay, I'll just talk about Garrison a bit now. Why is it so annoying? My guess is, apart from the cost of upgrade plans, the mission table. Whenever I go there, I feel the need to do that as well, and that's pretty annoying. And it's a closed system. You do the missions to level the followers, to gear them and all. Maybe it's a lot more simpler, just make a garrison and just take the passive resources from that box, and that's great. Make a building that you need and you're good. That's the most optimal way to play the garrison, and everything else, it's optional. Okay, there's one more thing, but I'll do that a bit later. As you can see, not many people. I'm not on I usually say time walking, but chromie time. There are not that many people. Maybe in some other zone, I guess Razor Hill would be, but even in the Blood Elf one, there are not that many people. I have Spring Rabbit for this exact reason out, because there are a lot of people that come here, and you know, I wanna help people out, why not? So you know, he probably wanted that achievement, he got it, maybe not, and now he's off. Now this is the reason. Last time, you know, I could have made that video a lot more concise. It's not, there's not too many things you need to know, but computer works surprisingly well. I'll get into that a bit later. So it says in the tooltip that the duration is 1 hour. So all that time, you know, I was talking in circles, I don't know, blah blah blah, and literally in the tooltip it says duration 1 hour. But who reads tooltips, right? The same way I found out about that vendor for engineering, engineering vendor pretty much in Ashran. I just read the tooltip from that, I don't know, book thing you make once a day. So I guess that would be it when it comes to this. I would say that I would like for them to put new things, but that would just mean more useless work. And also the thing I would like would be Tabard, and I know they would make some ugly one, so there's no really point in asking Blizzard for stuff. Okay, before I go into that, das ist Valta. Let's, you know, this is a nice view. Maybe stand like this. Maybe not. Okay, let's make it easier for me for a bit. So I don't know, computer was acting strangely for a while. Apart from IRL, I guess that's IRL too. I was thinking how I didn't have any problems for a while, and then I don't know what was it. Maybe it was the I have Bitdefender antivirus, because it was supposed to be set it and forget it. Then they have some upgrade, I don't know, maybe it was that, maybe it was WoW. I almost broke the fan while cleaning it, because I cleaned the computer 2 times, because you know, randomly fans were just starting going crazy. And you know, maybe I was thinking maybe WoW changed. The first time it started during WoW, and I was thinking maybe they are making some shadow changes. I was looking at one point for some changes, but I didn't found any, because I noticed before on the lowest settings you couldn't see the excuse me, you couldn't see the weapon illusion, and now you can. So they do make some shadow changes, but never mind, now it seems everything's alright. Like I said, the video seems, I don't know what to do with it, but I guess the sound is the main point, and that's relatively okay. Okay, yeah, like I said, the only thing I would like from these events, and they added that in the Brewfest one, are tabards, but I don't know, I just don't like the way they make new tabards. I like the old school ones, you know, one nice logo and stuff, and I wish they would add. Maybe I'll at some point make a guild and just make a tabard myself. Though I would, even there, they should just add those arena icons to tabards as well. Okay, I remember things, then I forget them, but the whole point here is that I just can, you know, think of another thing, you know, like Tarzan, jump from vine to vine and hope I don't, you know, reach the end and go blank, or Zagor for that matter, though he jumps from branch to branch. Okay, yeah, I was thinking about, okay, I have two things that I just remembered, and then I guess I could go into new expansion, because that's the new thing. It's more interesting, I guess. So one thing, speaking of tabards, is this is why I probably should have been in the Garrison. I have all these keybinds and I forget what is. Okay, let's go into tabards. Yeah, I guess you can read this. Orgrimmar tabard, Orgrimmar tabard. Do you know what the difference is? Just the color of the letters. That's it. It's the same tabard. And this is the Garrison one. When they couldn't even just, there's that banner in the Garrison with a proper horde, you know, I don't know, tabard logo, call it whatever you want, and they just had to take that and reshape it into a tabard, and they didn't do that. That's how much trust I have in Blizzard and World of Warcraft development. They just make new things and bury all the old. Now, I understand it partially. For example, this bracket, you could only have one dev on it for a couple of days, and they could make a huge amount of difference. But attention to this bracket is only, it's pretty much hand-me-downs from end game, you know, changes. And like I said, I understand that to a point. The only changes that are made to this bracket is when there is something terribly wrong and affects rest of the game. So one more thing that I wanted to mention before going into that, in my, as you can see, if I start talking about the next expansion, it's, I don't have much faith in it. There's some nice things, but who knows how it's gonna be implemented. One more thing, I wanna mention Fortnite here in two ways. First one is, I was thinking about how Fortnite, they have the Team Rumble mode. So at first they were trying to put objectives in it, but nobody really paid any attention to it. So they just removed that, and I was thinking, most people in World of Warcraft don't really care about objectives either, and you know, end up fighting in the middle of the road. So it's pretty much
I had to go and requisition an abomination. An abomination.
Okay, I didn't turn off text to speech, and I really don't want to do it now. Okay, let's do this.
Junior Apothecary Holland says, I had to go and requisition an abomination. An abomination.
Okay, this is not a good idea. Or maybe interface accessibility. Okay, now I have a routine. So then I was thinking about it and remembered that's what Ashrankana is now. I know everybody just fights in the middle of the road, and it's the way to do it, and from that perspective, you know, it's perfect. It's boring, but it's perfect. So yeah, talking about Ashran. Last time, I guess it happens when there are most people on, which is, you know, logical. I got into one, I think it was Friday, around, was it 5? So I guess, you know, for Ashram, for me, and because I Q specific, I don't want to go into anything else larger, maybe at a later time. But when it comes to Ashran, I guess if I Q or anyone, if anyone Q specific around 5 at the evening, in the afternoon, and later on during, you know, Friday and weekends, that's the time to get in. Another thing about from Fortnite that's very important for gaming industry, for me, in my opinion, is they had a unvaulting event, and in that event Reddit was, you know, all the content creators, you know, influencers, fellow colleagues had the opinion, I might just as well say it, they wanted grapple gun because it was content for them, you know, to show their skills and stuff. So they all wanted grapple gun back, and they were all advocating for it. Reddit was full of it, you know, all the cool kids and pro players. If you were paying attention to media, you would think that 100% grapple gun is gonna go back in the game. Drum gun went back in the game. 90% of the people in game voted for drum gun, and that's not grapple gun for those who never played the game. Grapple gun was something like grappler hook in Warcraft or, I don't know, Overwatch. Drum gun was like something, a mix, like a Tommy gun, something like between SMG and assault rifle. So everybody wanted that because it, you know, it was like most fun for, you know, a casual player base. So that's one more thing that I'm afraid when I see the new expansion. Let's now go into that. Okay. There are not that many people doing this, which is understandable. I mean, egg hunting, I just took a look at the screen, which reminded me for the first thing, I forgot already what I was talking about. Yeah, they have some that's it's good that they are listening to the player base. I don't know how that's gonna play out, but for example, the one thing that personally will affect me is, first I look at this from the starter perspective. I see those less user interface. In the beginning, it was bad, and it needed change, and I was expecting the change to be nice, but me personally, it affected badly. It made the experience worse for me. So now when I look at it, instead of being hopeful that it will be better, I am afraid that it will be worse, because they are making. I didn't really look that much into the new stuff. I only heard things and saw things here and there. Fortunately, I did see some things before I started streaming, and because I thought it's much worse than it actually is. I saw that health bar, and I know it kind of looked worse the first time I've seen it, but now I guess the mana bar is just 1/3 of that bar, 2/3 being health, and I was thinking, why is you need to pay attention to both? In this bracket, people actually can go and there are other resources. Why wouldn't you make it 50-50? And I think they're just gonna do some, I hope they're gonna really do some complete overhaul and make it everything customizable. If that happens, then great, but I'm afraid they're gonna just half-ass it, make some basic changes to show look, we did something. I have UI scale 110%. That minimap's gonna be quarter of my screen. I'm gonna end up being forced to have an add-on, and I hate having add-ons after they make all those changes. I hope not, but that's what I'm afraid of. Maybe it's just fear, but like I said, I lack trust. I don't, and when I didn't really watch most of it, but the only guy there I know is Holinka, and as for, I don't know other people, but I do not have that amount of trust. Profession changes, fine for people that are into that, and end game, I guess they have it. Seems nice, I guess, for some player base. Those are gonna be nice changes. For PvP, I heard just now that they are doing those VOD changes, which were okay. That connects with the thing I said before. When there were those big, let's call them exploits, with the Azerite armor. First they made the level requirement, but that didn't work, and then they I guess removed it. I don't know I can't really remember what happened, doesn't really matter. The point is they removed all the, which I guess it was a fix in a way, but the relic stayed and they couldn't repair it, so they just, you know, my point is this bracket's only getting private server kind of fixes, and in that regard those Holinka fixes were okay. So they just made blanket eye level. They only made at first I thought I can, you know, get eye level up enough for it to matter, but then I heard that it was only supposed to increase your power by 1% even if you did them all, so I just gave up. I only got some white high eye level. I'm not sure that I explained this right. I started playing at the end of map, and it was brutal in this bracket at least. So Holinka's changes, although they were very restrictive, they were great because it leveled out the playing field. He gave everyone the same stat. They normalized everything. So like I said, maybe it's not perfect, but it was the best thing out there. So if they make those kind of changes, then, you know, I would be more than satisfied. However, they made some changes even now, but that doesn't apply to this bracket. So that's what I'm afraid of. Also, I don't know what they're gonna do with the consumables, because a lot of the power at the moment in this bracket comes from other sources, not just gear. Gear as well, but not just gear. If they made like I said, normalized everything and made I'm not really, but I guess it would be better if it was exactly like in what, for me at least, because it would be most fair. And I have heard, you know, about different types of gamers, and I guess I come into that group that, you know, I leveled playing field. Also, while saying that, I also watched John Statt's interview the other day, one of the newer ones, and he pretty much said, I think he and one other guy made Warsong Gulch because they were PvPers, and that's one of the reasons I don't really have faith in current development team, because a lot of great things were just pushed because of certain game developers, and I'm afraid those kind of people are long gone. The last guy that was really into PvP, and I guess don't really agree with his view of things, was and I guess I'm mentioning names anyway, Chris Kailiki or something. He was the guy that made that Flashbang Arena, and he's gone. And would you look at that? No new battleground, no new arena. And they don't really have to make anything new up, they just need to reskin things like they did with the Warsong Gulch and that Cataclysm one. Is it don't really want to check now, doesn't matter. So they just need to make another Rati Basin, my favorite battleground, or any other for that matter, worse than Gulch again, but in a new setting. That's what they need to do, and they don't even do that. I guess just making a new skin wouldn't be that. Just, you know, use some assets you already have, some new assets you made for the new expansion, and just, you know, reskin it. But that is the point. There are no really PvP people there, it seems. Okay, maybe Holinka, I don't know, but I doubt that he will make a new battleground. I hope he will do some good PvP changes, but we will see. Okay, I've reached that blank. Okay, let's, and yeah, when it comes to new expansion, okay, I'm afraid that they just are listening to, okay, they heard, you know, a feedback or two, and, you know, for example, profession, that doesn't affect me at all, but they are nice changes, and for the people that are into that, that's great, and it seems that it has some depth. But I'm afraid of the superficial changes. For example, I guess they think, you know, a lot of our player base went to Final Fantasy. Maybe I should move, but I really don't want to. I'm gonna lose this thought. So instead of addressing, for example, raids, how they are done a lot better better here in Final Fantasy, they just add that new race and class that doesn't have, in my opinion, any sense at all, because I don't really have no knowledge of Final Fantasy, but one video I saw, I think that new class in human form kind of resembles me of that one, not class, race, of that one in Final Fantasy. So that's, I guess they went to Final Fantasy, okay, let's give them this. That's my fear. And when I first saw that new race class combo, I thought it was a badly made fake leak. That's how it looked, like a very, very badly made fake leak, and that's real. So that kinda painted my view of the new expansion. As for the zones, I don't know, they look nice. That one zone that's supposed to be Grizzly Hills more reminds me of Wildstar and Nazmir, I guess. Last time I had that orc sitting down with his face at the bottom of the screen, and I understand it was triggering. And it looks nice, but like I said, it doesn't remind me really of Grizzly Hills. It reminds me more of some other places, but you know, it all looks nice. They at least, when with those lava fields, they didn't put them in some desert, they put them in some lush greens and stuff. And that reminds me also that long ago I've seen some TBC concept art, and they made Hellfire Peninsula pretty much a red desert, but the concept art for it was amazing. It was some sci-fi Mars things, and Shatrath concept art for it was like, you know, a city in the jungle. It was great. So I guess they are a lot better now at this is also okay. I guess this is not a level 1. Maybe it is. Yeah, bunch of level 1s. Guess what they are doing here. And I guess they are making them money, so they don't care. That's one more thing. WoW is pretty much a mobile game. You know, you're expecting a new a mobile game, but everything's already in here. There are people that are grinding for gold, like those 2 level 1s there, and there are people that are buying it to pay for boosts. That's pretty much a pay to win mobile game. Paying for convenience. Not really. That was nice. Oh yeah, it's not a cat. I already thought, you know, there's a mouse. But you know, it looks nice. I think I have ranted quite enough. I wanted to make because this is pretty much channel intended for not only starters but starters. So I wanted a while back to make that kind of video, but I guess I didn't. Maybe I will, I don't know. But yeah, I think I have ranted quite enough. I might touch up on that and server, though I might just say it right now. I wasn't sure if I should believe those sites and that WoW realm population one, but I guess that is true. The only thing because it counts active players, and the thing is that changes over year, but that's exactly the point. Depending on how you play, if you're playing over the year, why would you be on a server that's has highest population only in a couple of months, and then it goes, you know, medium, and all the servers that are listed in that list as, I don't know, low or new or medium, they're pretty much dead. So if you're a new player and wanna go on a server and don't have some preference for a dead server, you need to go to a full one. Even I think high ones are pretty much dead. So that's my advice to the new players, and they really need to do something about it. And as far as I've heard, the new, with the new technology and everything, the new restrictions are pretty much artificial, and they really need to make, I don't know, some auction house CRZ or something, because this ain't working. And that reminds me of, they kinda, I guess Final Fantasy has instance zones, and maybe that's why that's the reason behind them making those zones, you know, larger. But they also had instance zones in the Shadowlands, so, you know, everything's relative, I guess. And I guess that would be it.
See you soon. Real soon.